man. Is it Imran? Imran, come on up.
All right, that was tough. I just had my second surgery in 15 months. I tore my Achilles last year, and then they removed hardware, so I'm glad I made it in one piece. I live really close to here, and it's cool to see this park filled up with people because most nights and days that we walk around with my little 13-month-old son, it's pretty empty, and so it's cool to be utilizing this space for discourse that's really important to our future. And so a couple things, I'm going to try to keep it short. Thanks for being here and withstanding the elements. I don't think it's political or religious or part of your ethnicity or part of your patriotism to want to treat everybody equal. That's like my message for all my students. I'm a college teacher for 11 years now, and I've been lucky to share that sort of message with like all of these young minds. It's not political. It doesn't matter if you're red or if you're blue or if you're of a different party or a different religion or a different background. It's just line up 100 people in front of you, and if you had a job opening at your company, you would want the person with the best qualifications, the person that hopefully is well-spoken, educated, has the passion, the heart, is going to have a good work ethic. And that's kind of my motivation for being here today. I'm not going to give you the whole sob story. I grew up in Oregon City, which isn't far from here, and my dad chose Oregon City. He went to college in Southern California, and he chose Oregon City after he got a job in Portland. So why is this guy in the 70s going up to Portland to visit to have an interview and then choosing Oregon City out of all the places in Oregon, right? And we were like the only non-white family, I swear, and anywhere in a distance. And that was part of my challenge growing up. I was always asked, where are you from? Why are you here? Why don't you go back to your country? And I could go on and on. I was spit on, I was called names. Why? Why was I treated that way? And that's how I relate to Trey, who has darker skin than I do, or Ben, who has a different sexual orientation. It's not fair. Everybody should have a blank sheet of paper on their chest. When you meet them, you should start to write down on yours or theirs things you've learned about them. That's how we should judge relationships. It shouldn't be like, oh, you're dark-skinned, you go to that church, you belong to that party, so that's how I'm going to treat you. So the hardest thing for me has been getting over the fact that I was not supposed to be here. That was like a big thing for me growing up. So everybody would all say, why didn't you go back to your country, or why are you here? I can't tell you the amount of hundreds of times that I've told people that my dad came here to go to college as the youngest of 10 kids from Karachi, Pakistan. I can't tell you the amount of times I've told people that story. How many times do you think I've asked someone else which part of their family immigrated here? Zero. I have no right. Like, why would I go up to somebody like, so did your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents immigrate here? Because I'm like curious, how did you end up here right now? But for some reason, everybody wanted to know that story about me. So the reason why I'm telling you all this information is because why would somebody who's a minority or person of color have a difficult time in society after everything that's going on and transpired? It's because it's been years of the status quo is these people belong and these people have to fight super hard to belong. That's just the way I can sum it up for you. And then the last thing I'll say is my wife is Caucasian, and I joke with her when we go to a restaurant, I'm like, you go put your name in, you're going to get faster service. And it may or may not be true, but in my mind, she is going to be the one that voices change. Like, she's Caucasian, and she actually has more power and privilege and pull, and she's much better looking than me, to try to advocate for change. If I'm the brown guy going into a room and being like, we should have equal rights and equal pay, and we should have equal opportunities in society, it's just that the minority is screaming at people like the minority should do. People who are Caucasian, who live in this neighborhood, I'm asking you to be the voices from here forward. And I think I'm echoing some of what our guest speaker said. But like all of you should get involved to be the voices to like want the most qualified person to get jobs and everybody to have access to education, and we go down the list. So really the reason I'm here today is just to give you a slightly different perspective. Being a minority, I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm kind of in the middle, I'm the middle child. So I have these middle views. That's kind of my approach. Moderation. I joke with people, don't eat the whole box of Oreos, don't just eat one, just eat half, right? Moderation. So my whole approach in life is moderation. Listen to both sides, get all the information, accept people for their character, and not because they're from a background or criteria that you saw in a movie somewhere. So thank you for your time. Hopefully I used my 5-minute rule as well as I could, and I really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.